Hi everyone, my name is Micah McCraw and these are my classmates Brianna Amos, Caleb Murphy, and Matthew Haas. In this presentation, we'll be discussing how to limit the spillover and discover further ways to maintain their top presence in the online shopping market. First, I will begin with our situation analysis. Amazon is one of the largest online marketplaces that brings together buyers and sellers of goods and services. Amazon helped to define the standard for e-commerce and pave the way for artificial intelligence to become a key element in Americans' lives. With internal technological advances like Amazon Prime, Prime Video, and Amazon Music, they have turned into one of the largest and most successful retailers in the world. Due to the effects of COVID-19 and the growing influence of technology in society, Amazon and Amazon Prime have made online shopping easier and more common than ever. Amazon gave people an easy and efficient way to purchase anything they might need and receive the product in a short amount of time. Amazon's customer base varies in all ages and can be easily maneuvered. Next, I will discuss the marketing research problem and opportunities for Amazon, as well as the research questions we were trying to answer during this study. As Amazon was trying to reel in consumers to the online shopping world, they may have made positive spillovers for brick and mortar retailers. Through our research, our goal is to answer these following questions. 1, do customers prefer shopping online with Amazon over brick and mortar retailers? 2, do customers feel overwhelmed when using Amazon's web services? 3, what type of customers are spilling over to the brick and mortar retailers? 4, what entices e-commerce customers to keep going back to physical retailers? And 5, how does Amazon and its services differ from physical retailers?
Okay, so next I'll be talking about our hypotheses. So we generated 5 hypotheses. The first one was the perception of Amazon will have a positive effect on Prime membership loyalty. The second one is the impression of retailers will have a positive effect on customer satisfaction reviews. The third one was the consumer's attitudes toward e-commerce will have a positive effect on the consumer's willingness to spend. The fourth one is the ownership of a Prime membership will have a positive effect on purchases made. And the last one is the judgment of product quality will have a positive effect on consumers' recommendation to others. So we chose these variables since it covers all bases and factors that are leading to the spillover that e-commerce, especially Amazon, is experiencing. So by choosing these variables, we were able to prove each hypothesis and gain a better understanding of what is contributing to Amazon's spillover of customers to brick and mortar stores such as Walmart and Target. For hypotheses 1, 3, and 5, we conducted primary research through our questionnaire and used multiple data analysis tools to be able to reject or unable to reject these hypotheses. For hypotheses 2 and 4, we conducted secondary research and used scholarly articles and other research to be able or unable to reject these hypotheses. So this was our conceptual framework. The independent variables that we came up with were the perception of Amazon, the impression of retailers, the attitude towards e-commerce, the judgment of product quality, and then the Prime membership. The dependent variables we came up with were Prime membership loyalty, customer satisfaction reviews, willingness to spend, purchases made, and recommendations to others. And then the control variables were number of Prime memberships, the recurring customers, age, income, and price, and those are all shown through the flowchart.
For our primary method of research, we also used a questionnaire. And for our sample size, we sent out the questionnaire to 85 online users. We got a response rate of 70.5%. And the characteristics of our respondents was mainly female, with 64.91% female and only 35.09% male. The ages range from 18 to 65, over 65, but most of our respondents were in the ages of 18 to 24. And in that similar percentage, 64.92% of our respondents have earned at least an associate's degree in college.
So next, we're going to talk about our data analysis. We conducted, as I said, 3 tests. We conducted a paired t-test, cross-tabulation, and an ANOVA F-test. So we performed on hypothesis 1, the paired t-test to test the perception of Amazon and whether it has an effect on Prime membership loyalty. We dummy coded our survey results from questions about people with Amazon accounts compared to people with Prime memberships. We did this to compare the mean of 2 variables asked to the same person and make a decision for our hypothesis based upon our results. The next one we did was the cross-tabulation. We performed it on hypothesis 3 to determine the relationship with age and their choice of preference between shopping online or shopping in store. By constructing a pivot chart and a bar graph, we were able to see the number of each age group and how they voted on a scale from 0 to 7, 0 being completely in store and 7 being completely online. And then finally, we conducted an ANOVA F test, which we performed on hypothesis 5 to test if the judgment of product quality had an effect on the consumer's willingness to recommend the product to others. Through the use of the results we obtained through our survey, we used data from what challenges consumers the most while shopping online, specifically Amazon and its relationship to their rankings. So on the left, we have the cross tabulation, the pivot chart and the bar graph, and that kind of shows the variation and the choices between the age and how it correlate to the ANOVA F test. The p-value showed that it was below the 0.5%, so we were able to reject that, and that was kind of how we showed our data analysis.
For showing on these graphs are two statistical results from our questionnaire. The pie chart shows the number of respondents who have a Prime membership compared to those who don't. This was interesting because all of our respondents had purchased something from Amazon. So the high number of Prime memberships shows the positive correlation in customers' loyalty and satisfaction. And then the bar graph shows our respondents' main purchases from Amazon compared to other major grocery stores like Walmart. And Amazon has the advantage in just about every category except for beauty supplies. It is even, and Walmart and Target have a large advantage in groceries. Moving down to the rest of our hypothesis results, our first null hypothesis, we used a paired t-test and the results showed a p-value of 0.0239, meaning we were able to reject the null hypothesis. On the second hypothesis, we used secondary research and we found a study done by professors at a business college in China. And the results showed that the emotional impression of customers' gain on retailers plays the biggest role in customer satisfaction and reviews. The findings also showed that the impression and satisfaction with retailers is the most important in gaining loyal and returning customers. This led us to reject the null hypothesis. On the third hypothesis, we use the data that was collected from the cross tabulations, and it showed that the age of consumers had an effect on their attitudes towards shopping online or in store, and thus affected their willingness to spend on both online or in stores. Through this data, we could reject the null hypothesis. The fourth hypothesis, we used secondary research again, and we found a study from Consumer Intelligence Research Partners. The study showed Prime members on average shop 25 times annually, while non-members only shopped 14. It also showed that Prime members spend almost twice as much compared to non-members each year. This aligned with our survey results on the previous slide, and we were able to reject the null hypothesis. And finally, our last hypothesis, we used an ANOVA F test, and we were able to reject the null hypothesis again because of the p-value that was way less than 0.05.
So lastly, we came up with some recommendations. Firstly, based on the research, the perception attitude that consumers have against Amazon has no effect on the Prime membership loyalty. We recommend additional research against Prime holders to determine what factors drive their membership loyalty. This research can be used to sustain membership and increase membership. Secondly, our survey results show that the #1 research people shop in store compared to online is a concern of product quality. We recommend introducing a product quality promise to customers. And this promise will guarantee money back and free returns to customers. As a result, we hope that it will lessen consumers' worries related to product quality and will increase consumers' purchases, specifically relating to products of beauty supplies, clothing, groceries, where the physical stores have an advantage. Thirdly, based on the results of the surveys, consumers' attitudes towards e-commerce has an effect on their willingness to spend. However, the research demonstrates that those who are surveyed prefer Walmart and Target over Amazon when purchasing groceries. Our recommendation is to determine how to improve grocery sales and specifically perishable items, given that these items are staples and commodities that all consumers need.
And then these were our works cited that we talked about with secondary research. And with all that being said, that was how we determined the brick and mortar and whether it has an effect on the Amazon spillover. Thank you.